The US Open 2025 isn't just a tournament, it feels like a showdown between two different eras. On one side, the fearless young guns who've been ripping through draws like they've got nothing to lose. On the other, the battle-tested legends who've already written tennis history but refuse to fade away quietly. And this year's men's field? It's chaos. Rankings don't tell the whole story. Form is peaking for some at exactly the right time, others are limping in, and a couple are carrying more pressure than a fifth-set tiebreak in Arthur Ashe Stadium. Here's the thing. This list you're about to hear is not the official ATP Top 10. It's my top 10 players to watch in New York this year, based on matchups, mental game, crowd energy, and the potential for absolute fireworks. Some of these picks are going to make sense the moment you hear them. Others, you're going to think I've completely lost it, and that's exactly what I want. This isn't a polite list. It's meant to spark debates, DMS, and maybe even a few unfollows. We've got players in here who could blow the roof off with an upset, players who might finally grab their moment, and yes, one or two names that'll have you screaming, why the hell is he so high? So if you're the kind of tennis fan who can't sit still when someone ranks your favorite player too low, welcome. By the end of this video, you'll either be nodding in agreement or furiously typing your own top 10 in the comments. And fair warning, a couple of legends didn't even make this list. The US Open has always been the slam where storylines explode. It's where Pete Sampras said goodbye in 2002, where a 19-year-old Rafael Nadal learned just how fast New York hardcourts can feel, and where Juan Martín del Potro shocked the world in 2009 with one of the most fearless finals we've ever seen. In the last decade, it's been just as unpredictable. Who could forget Dominic Thiem's comeback from 2 sets down in 2020? Or Emma Raducanu's magical run the following year in the women's draw? The US Open has a habit of taking whatever you think you know about the sport and throwing it out the window. Fast forward to 2025 and the men's game is in a fascinating spot. Jannik Sinner has taken the number 1 ranking with the quiet, unshakable consistency of a machine. Carlos Alcaraz is still every bit the human highlight reel, but he's had injury niggles that leave fans wondering if he's 100%. Novak Djokovic, at 38, is defying every physical law we know, but also can't dodge the whispers, is this his last US Open? Then there's the new wave. Players like Ben Shelton, Jack Draper, and Holger Rune who have the weapons and swagger to knock out anyone on a given night. They don't care about history, they care about now. Injury comebacks and surprise hot streaks are also part of the mix. Alex de Minaur has turned into a relentless hardcourt wall this season. Lorenzo Musetti has finally started winning on surfaces people didn't think suited him. And Taylor Fritz, he's got the home crowd, a booming serve, and the belief that this might be his moment to give the US its first men's slam since 2003. That's the backdrop. Legends hanging on, prodigies stepping up, and an entire New York crowd ready to anoint or destroy him, whoever steps into the spotlight. Alright, here's where I start making enemies. This list is based on who I think will matter most in the 2025 US Open. Not just who's at the top of the ATP table. That means some high seeds are getting bumped way down. A couple low seeds are jumping way up. And one player who's been in every headline this summer, yeah, he's not here at all. Let's talk omissions first, because this is where people throw popcorn at the screen. Casper Ruud didn't make my list. Why? His game on North American hardcourts hasn't clicked this season. The forehand is still massive, but he's looked flat in key moments, and in best of 5 on this surface, I just don't see him making noise. Another snub? Stefanos Tsitsipas? Yes, I know his fans are gonna flood the comments, but the serve plus forehand pattern isn't biting the way it used to, and there are too many dangerous floaters in the early rounds. And here's the big controversy. I'm moving Novak Djokovic way down to number 7. Not because he's not dangerous, he's still Novak, guys, but because in this specific field, with the level of athleticism and pace in the draw, I see a few others more likely to run the table. On the flip side, I've bumped Ben Shelton and Jack Draper way up. Why? Shelton's lefty serve is pure chaos under the lights, and Draper's been quietly carving through draws all season. Here's the final chaos-friendly top 10 to watch 10. Lorenzo Musetti, stylish, varied, and finally finding confidence on hard courts. Could take out a seed if his backhand catches fire. 9. Alex de Minaur. The demon doesn't stop running, not flashy, but in 5-set grinders, he can frustrate power players into meltdown. 8. Holger Rune, one of the most polarizing guys in the sport, genius shot maker, or too streaky to trust. Either way, must see TV. 7. Novak Djokovic. Yes, he's still Novak, but at 38 over 2 weeks against guys 15 years younger, the mountain's higher than ever. 6. Taylor Fritz, the top American hope. Serves a sledgehammer, forehand is locked in. If the crowd gets behind him, look out. 5. Carlos Alcaraz, still the most electrifying athlete in tennis, but minor injuries this summer drop him from the top spot in my list. 4. Like Jack Draper, breakthrough year, he's got the lefty angles, calm under pressure, and a confidence that's new and scary. 3rd, Ben Shelton, night session kryptonite. That serve, that energy, that fist pump feeds off chaos. Could blow the roof off Ash. 2. Alexander Zverev, hard court consistency. One of the best backhands in the world and looking sharper than he has in years. 1. Jannik Sinner, ice cold focus, improved serve, lethal from both wings. Right now, he's the most complete player in the field. Okay, here's where I get personal. Putting Djokovic at 7? Yeah, I can hear the comment section boiling already, but listen, I'm not saying he's not a threat. I'm saying in this specific moment, in this specific field, his margin for error is razor thin. Alcaraz at 5 is another hill I'm ready to die on. He's electric, but the body's been letting him down in little ways all summer. That's dangerous in a slam. On the flip side, putting Shelton at 3 is pure belief in the chaos factor. You cannot teach the way he feeds off a big moment. If he's serving lights out, there's no safe return strategy. My biggest "this could blow up in my face" pick, Draper at 4. It's a bet that his 2025 form isn't a blip, that it's who he is now. And yes, Sinner at number 1 is boring to some people, but this isn't about headlines. It's about who I think can walk through this minefield without tripping. Right now, that's Sinner. Alright, there's my list. 10 names I believe you need to watch at the 2025 US Open. Not just because they might win, but because they're going to shape the drama. But this isn't gospel. This is the start of a fight. So now it's your turn. Who's too high? Who's criminally underrated? Who did I snub so hard you can't believe you're still watching this? Drop your own top 10 in the comments. And if the replies are fiery enough, I'll do a follow-up video reacting to the wildest takes. Because remember, the US Open isn't just about who wins the trophy. It's about the shocks, the meltdowns, the late-night magic under the ash lights. And this year, something tells me we're going to get all of it.